Hi and welcome to A World of Words. I'm Vanessa and today I'm going to be talking about my all-time favorite TV shows. So this being a booktube and authortube channel, it's pretty obvious that I love the books. I love to read. Reading is amazing and so much fun, but you may not also know just how much I love TV. I like it a lot. So today I thought I would share some of my all-time favorite TV shows, and this is going to be a mix of shows that are still currently on or shows that were on quite a few years ago. They are in no particular order except for the very first one, which is my favorite one. And I'm going to start with my favorite one because I want to. I want to talk about it. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too to see what kind of shows that I like. And if you like the same kind of shows, that would be awesome, and then we can talk about them. My all-time favorite TV show that I doubt anything will ever top the show. It's just that good, in my humble opinion. And that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, this is kind of an old show. First season was in 1996, so I wasn't even old enough to watch it when it first came out. But I watched it about 10 years later, and I am obsessed with it. It is amazing. The first season is a little iffy. It's not the best thing ever. A little strange, but when you get to the second season and beyond, it's just such a good show. And this show pretty much has everything. It's about a young girl who is 16. She is the chosen one, the one girl to fight the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer. It's hard to describe how much I love this show. It's hilarious, for one. It has so many funny episodes, so many amazing lines, but it also has super strong emotion, so you get super attached to the characters. The plots are really interesting. She pretty much has an apocalypse every year that she has to stop, and her friends are great. The side characters are just amazing. All of their relationships and drama, it's all just so good. There's just a lot going on. It's a great show, and if you don't believe me, it's on Netflix, so start watching it and keep going through season 2. If you don't like it by the end of season 2, you probably just don't like the show, but it's really good. It's my all-time favorite, and it's gonna stay there forever, probably. I have lost count of how many times I have rewatched this show. Yes, I have the box sets on DVD because I started collecting box sets before Netflix was really a thing, so I have quite a large box set collection too. Alright, on to the next one. And the rest of these really aren't super in order. There are some I like a little bit more than others, but I'm not really gonna bother numbering them because it's just gonna be too difficult. I'm just gonna go right to Angel, which is the spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Big surprise, Joss Whedon's a genius. I love his stuff. Angel is about Angel. He's one of Buffy's love interests from the early seasons of Buffy, and then he goes on and has his own show, and his show is really good. It's a little bit darker. In my opinion, it's not quite as good as Buffy, but it is still a really good show. Has a bunch of really amazing episodes, and it has such great writing. Like I said, Buffy is like way up here, and then everything else is like a little lower. It's hard to reach Buffy for me. I love it so much. But Angel is really, really good as well. Next, we're just gonna keep on going with vampire shows because, what can I say? Drama. I don't like super gory shows, which you might notice from my selections. The thing I like about vampire shows is that you can have a character that looks young but is actually really old and can have like hundreds of years of backstory. It's just the best of both worlds, really, because I think it's a little unrealistic when there are shows about these 16, 17-year-olds, which is funny because some of those are coming up and they have a dark past, and I'm like, what, were you 12 when you had this horrible dark past full of all of this like crazy partying and stuff? But vampire shows, they've been alive for so long. So the next one is Vampire Diaries. It's a great show. My favorite season, I think, is this one. It's still the second season, and the show is still on. It is on its last season right now. Is this 7 seasons or is this 8 seasons? It's been on a very long time. I watched it since its very first episode on TV, I've been watching it for that many years. I'm a devoted fan. It's very good. You've probably heard of it. It's kind of a big deal. There's a lot of doppelgangers going on. She ends up playing like at least 3 characters. And it's crazy. It's a crazy show, but it's good. Next we have a slight break from the supernatural-ish shows, and I'm going to talk about Pretty Little Liars. This is I want to say more realistic drama, but it's not really very realistic, so I can't really say that. It's about a group of girls whose friend died, and then they end up getting a series of text messages from somebody threatening them and trying to like blame the murder on them, and then a whole bunch of crazy nonsense happens. It's a teen drama, which is fun, but it's also a mystery, and there is a surprisingly high death count in the show as well. People also sometimes come back to life, which is interesting. It's pretty crazy. So it's not just like a high school drama, it's also a mystery. This show gets really, really crazy, so it's super fun to watch. Alright, back into supernatural stuff, we have Teen Wolf. This is a really fun show. Especially, I think the first 3 were the best. I haven't seen the current season, which is season 6, because I don't have cable. But I will be watching that as soon as it is available on DVD, and I can just watch it all the way through. I feel like it's much better to marathon it because it's gotten so confusing, kind of like Pretty Little Liars, that it's kind of hard when you're going week to week to remember all of the little things that they had happening. I really love this show. The only thing that's kind of sad about it is that they tend to get rid of their cast members every couple years and kind of rotate them through. They do it in a pretty clever way, but it's still kind of sad to let go of your favorites, and then you do get attached to new ones, and sometimes you don't. But this is a really fun show. It's actually pretty funny, and it's got a lot of action and drama in it as well. I like the supernatural action drama teen shows. Try to say that 5 times fast. Supernatural action drama teen show. That should be its own category. Next we have Orphan Black. This is, I think, the only one on my favorites list that is actually for mature audiences only. This is a very violent show. It's really good and really interesting, but it's not for younger viewers. All the other ones I think are TV 14, so if you're in that age range, it's okay. This one, might want to advise some caution. But it is a really good show. It is about a woman who finds out she is actually one of many clones, and it's all played by the same amazing actress who somehow makes you think they're all different people, but it's really all just her, and she's not acting with anybody. Well, she's acting with a double, but like in this actual show, it's all her playing every single character, and it's got a crazy mystery going on too. You're trying to figure out, like, there's like the people who created them, and there's all these other people and all this craziness happening and mystery, and it's just really good, and it just keeps you guessing. And I think it's also on its last season, which is season 5. It's coming up, I think, but I have to wait till it's on DVD because it is on BBC. So it's another great show to marathon though. It's good. Now we're dipping back into the past a bit, because I told you my favorites are all over the place, and we have One Tree Hill, which is like a classic WB teen drama show. It's not like Pretty Little Liars. It's a little bit more realistic than Pretty Little Liars, but it's also pretty crazy. It's about these half-brothers, and they have this horrible mean father, and basketball. It's a sports drama sometimes. It's really good. Their character dynamics are just really amazing. This show also is really interesting because it starts out as a high school drama, and then it goes on to be like an adult drama, because by season 5 they're all in their 20s. It evolves, and it's really interesting the way it does that. It's so funny. It keeps you guessing too. It's a good show. It's a lot of fun. And then along with that, I think these shows were on around the same time-ish. We have The OC. This is such a fun show. It's about a poor kid named Ryan who ends up getting basically adopted by this nice rich family in California, And then he gets thrown into the world in California and the school and the drama, and gets involved with this girl who has some substance abuse problems. That'd be Marissa. It's just such a good show. It's just like a classic teen drama. The next show is actually the same creator as the OC, and that is Gossip Girl. This is much newer. First season came out in 2007. This show will always have a special place in my heart because it is the first actual drama that I ever started watching. Before, I would usually just watch supernatural type shows. If it didn't have a supernatural element to it or a fantasy element to it, I didn't normally watch it when I was quite a bit younger. When this came on, that's when I started really watching like these drama shows, and I actually discovered One Tree Hill and OC after I watched this one because I went back and watched like all the old dramas because I had to get more dramas. It's really good, especially the first few seasons. It went on for quite a few seasons, and the first few seasons I have rewatched over and over and over again, and I love them. I am obsessed. There is so much drama going on between these few characters. It is ridiculous. Like, their lives are insane, and it is so entertaining to watch. And then we have Supernatural. And this show is also still on. This was also one of the first shows I started watching. I would watch regularly week to week. This is such a good show, especially for me, the earlier seasons. Again, I keep saying that, but after season 3 or 4, I feel like it started to get really, really violent. I have a bit of a confession to make. While I am obsessed with the first few seasons of the show, and I do consider it one of my favorites because I basically have season 1 memorized. I think I haven't seen like season 6 and beyond, which sounds crazy, and you can tell me I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not really gonna get into all that. I like the earlier seasons when it was simpler, saving people, hunting things, the family business, and then it got really crazy, and now there's like angels and God is in the show now, apparently. It like still occasionally has a funny episode, so I have watched some like random episodes of later seasons like that are super funny, and my sister recommends because she's still pretty caught up with it. I'm going to try and catch up at some point, but I don't really have that much motivation to because it's so violent and it's so dark now. The early seasons though, I absolutely love, and they're so good. Supernatural still gets to be on the list. Those are all the ones that I own box sets of, but I have 2 more favorite shows for you. First one is The Flash on the CW. I love this show. At first, I didn't know if I loved it because it was copying Smallville, which I do like, but they didn't make it onto this list. I'm gonna do a part 2 of this video and talk about the rest of the shows I love because there are a lot. Yeah, it was straight out copying things from Smallville, and I didn't really like that, but once it got going, halfway through, I think season 1 is when it really started to get going for me, and it is just such a good show. It is so funny. I am in love with Barry Allen because he's perfection and he's the best thing ever. He's wonderful, and he can sing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I absolutely love The Flash, and Cisco has all the best lines. He's hilarious. It is such a fun show. And then the next show that is my last favorite that I'm going to mention in this video is Supergirl. This show is just adorable. Like, the first season was really cute and it really sucked me in. And then the second season has gotten so much better, and it's so good, and I absolutely love the show. I love when it crosses over with the Flash and the Arrow and all of that stuff. It is so much fun. Supergirl, Kara, is just the sweetest thing, and I love her. Again, it's got like everything I like. It's got like action, it's got some funny parts. It's gotten funnier, I think, since the second season. It's a little bit corny at times, sure, but I still love it, and it's still a super fun show. A super fun show. I had to mention it because it's one of the few shows that I actually watch week to week-ish. I tend to watch things online after the fact. It is one of my favorites. So that is it for my favorite TV shows part 1. I will be doing a second part at some point when I feel like it to tell you all of the rest of the shows that I watch and that I love, because there are more than this, but this video is getting long. What else is new? So I'm gonna stop now. If you like any of these shows, please comment down below. I would love to talk to you about them. I am not kidding. I love talking about TV. Let's talk about it in the comments below. If you haven't watched any of these shows, I highly recommend all of them. You should watch them. Unless you're too young for Orphan Black, then don't watch it because you might be scarred. But they're good shows. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I upload new videos on Mondays and every other Friday, plus the occasional surprise video, so please subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye!